My name is Kate. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today, I wanted to share the pages that I completed for the month of September with you, and I'm very excited to share that for the month of September, I completed a total of 12 pages, which is the most I've ever completed in a single month since I started coloring in November last year. So I'm very pleased with how many pages I've got done. I think a lot of them are really beautiful, and I'm very excited to share them all with you. So let's jump right in. So before we get started, I wanted to say that I've got this new background, but it's a little bit creased still. I'm still working to flatten it out, so please ignore the little creases for now, and hopefully by the next video they won't be there anymore, because I don't know if they're annoying you as much as they're annoying me, but I will be working really hard to get them out for the next video. So the first book I colored in this month was Millie Marotta's Secrets of the Sea, and I've got the pocket coloring edition. I colored 2 pages in this book. The first one goes for Mumu's Obscure Animal Bingo Challenge, and I've got I think 2 other pages that go for this challenge as well that will come up as we go through the other books. But this is the first one, and it went for the prompt of Puffin. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out in the end, but I will say I did not have fun coloring this page. I started with the water, which I quite liked coloring, but then after that, all these little leaves and berries and little flowers, they're just so teeny tiny. It was a bit tedious finishing this page. But again, I'm quite pleased with how it turned out, and I really like how this challenge is challenging me to try, some pages that I might not necessarily have picked by myself. So yeah, I also quite like, how I brought in the orange and yellow from the beak to these flowers, and how the color palette ended up being quite autumnal. Then next, you will have seen this page if you watched my 3 color challenge on my channel, which was my last video. I'll make sure I also link it up in the cards above. So I colored this gray seal, and I challenged myself to use only 3 colors. I used blue, green, and gray. And again, for this one, I am really pleased with how it turned out. It was a lot of fun coloring it, and I colored this whole page in just 1 day actually. So yeah, that says something about how much I actually enjoyed coloring it. I also added in some blue to the shaded areas and some green to the highlight areas to create a little bit more of a visual interest. And again, I really enjoyed how that came out, and I will definitely be experimenting with doing something like that in future pages as well. So those were the 2 pages I completed from this book. Next up is Sweet and Simple Whimsy Girls by Hannah Lynn, and I completed this page. Although these colors are colors that I really like working with, the purples, the pinks, this is quite an unusual color palette for me, just because I don't usually lean towards the more cool tone purples, the more cool tone pinks, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It surprised me quite a lot, because I felt a little bit lost with this page after I'd done like the alcohol marker basing and everything, but then I really like how it turned out in the end, and I think it might be my favorite page that I colored this month actually. Yeah, I like how I did the gradient in her hair. It was my first time trying this kind of gradient with alcohol markers, so it was a little bit tricky. In some places the blend isn't quite as seamless as it probably could have been, but again, I really enjoyed how it turned out. Yeah. Next up, I had a buddy color in Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. Me and my buddy Kate, we did this page, First Snow. Kate selected this page because she's just recently got a new husky puppy, and the puppy is really adorable. She sent me some pictures, and yeah, I had a lot of fun coloring this page. So thank you, Kate, for getting me coloring in this book. I really enjoyed our buddy, and please let me know if you want to do another one sometime, because again, I had a really, really fun time coloring this page. I love coloring in this book, actually. Every single page I've done in here, I really enjoyed. Um, I did this background with watercolor, and I tried to sprinkle some salt to kind of create these kind of crystal-like effects like I've got here. But I think because this paper isn't, of course, made for watercolor, it's not, you know, it's quite thick, it takes the water very well, there's no bleed through or anything like that. But because it's not made for watercolor, the water doesn't really sit on the page in the same way as it would if it was made for watercolor. And so the salt effect didn't quite work out the way that I had hoped in a lot of areas on this page. But again, I'm really pleased with how this snowy frosty background turned out. Let me insert a picture of Kate's page here. She also did a fantastic job, and I really, really like how her page turned out. I thought it was really, really beautiful. So again, thank you so much for the buddy color, Kate, and I hope we can do another page in this book or a different book soon. Next up is Moon Valley by Maria Trolle, and I did 2 pages in this book. The first one was a page that I did as a buddy color with my friend Daria from Instagram. So this is what my page turned out like. I did a really starry night sky to go with, you know, the whole Space Timber theme of this month. And I tried to make sure I got the moon's glow here on the little snail, on the mushroom, on the leaves and the clovers. And overall, I stuck to quite a realistic color palette. I enjoy doing that in Maria's books, where I, again, stick to something quite close to the realistic colors of all the different plants and animals that she draws. And then I put in just a little gold frame with my gold gel pen because I thought it would go quite nicely with all the yellow glow that this page has got on it. I will insert Daria's page here so you can have a look. It turned out really cute. I really like her color palette as well and how she changed it up a little bit from, you know, the more realistic vibes. Her page also gives me a really autumnal feel and I really enjoy how it turned out. Me and Daria have done lots of buddy colors in this book and she's really helping me get this book filled up. So thank you, Daria, for the buddy color. Then, because I had this book out, I decided to go to this page, which I did the background for in my preparing backgrounds for my summer holidays video here on my channel. But as you might know, if you watched, you know, my other completed pages video or my color and chat from my summer holiday, I didn't get quite as much coloring done as I had planned. So this page had just the background completed and nothing else. But I thought because I had the book out, I would go in and color this page because it was quite a simple page and quite quick coloring. Again, I stuck to quite a realistic color palette when it came to, you know, the flowers and the leaves. And then I brought the pink from the background into her little dress over here. I also brought the green from the leaves and flowers into her eyes as well. And then I added a whole bunch of acrylic marker dots all around just to create some more visual interest because the page was still looking a little bit plain. And I think it turned out okay. It's not my favorite page from the month, but I'm happy that it's done. So those were the 2 pages I did in Moon Valley. Up next, I colored in A Million Sea Creatures by Lulu Mayo. And this was another page that I completed for Mumu's Obscure Animal Bingo. It was for the puffer fish. I created kind of like a galaxy style background. I used lots of white acrylic paint to create some splatter effects to make it look like stars. Because when I first saw this page, I imagined this little puffer fish hot air balloon just, you know, floating through space or floating at least high up in the sky somewhere. So yeah, that's what I decided to go with for this page. I tried to stick to quite a pastel-y color palette for the main elements just to contrast with the dark background. And again, I put in some glow from this lamp down on these little creatures down here, up here, and also over here. And I think this might be another one of my favorite pages from this month. I'm really, really pleased with how it came together. Although I will say I was a little bit nervous at first because this was probably my first time attempting a galaxy type background, and it was looking quite messy. But once it got the acrylic paint splatters, I think it came together okay in the end. And again, yeah, I think it might be one of my favorite pages from this month. Next up, I colored in Any Day by Morgan O'Brien, and this was for the hashtag ACAnyDay. I colored this page with Annie in the bathtub, having a relaxing bath, and I've just realized that I did the glow effect quite a lot this month because I also created some glow from these little candles that she's got down here on the plant, on the bathtub, and also on these towels. And I didn't realize that until I sat down just now and looked at all these pages in a row. So that's quite funny. For this page, I tried to go with more earthy autumnal tones. So I used this burnt orange, this more deep yellow, as well as this brown, just to create a real autumnal feel. And I like how these colors all work together. I think it turned out quite nice in the end. Just to bring in the orange in another place on the page as well, I added a little bit of orange to her bubbles in her bath. And I think it looks like, she used some fun bubble bath products in there to make it look orange. Yeah, that was that page. Next up, I did another body color in Desert Fox Sugumi's Mysterious Travels. Me and my friend Rosaline from Instagram did this page. So I saw Rosaline had colored a different page in this book, and I reached out to her to ask if she would like to buddy up on a page. She said she was planning to color this one, so I said, yes, great, let's do it. Because this was the first page I colored in this book, I was really eager to get started. I used my Neo colors for basing, and then I came in with just a little bit of pencil shading to deepen up some of the areas, such as, for example, down here on this little coffee maker, up here on this little lamp. Then I used some washi tape to create this pattern on the little tablecloth because it was all plain in the illustration, but I really liked the tablecloth that they had over here. So when I looked at my washi tapes, I thought this one would create, a similar effect. And again, I really like how it turned out. I'll pop Rosaline's page up on the screen as well so you can see her beautiful page. Again, she stuck quite true to the original colored image, and I really like how it turned out. She told me that she used watercolor for all of this illustration, so I'm very impressed with how she managed to do all of that with her watercolors. So me and Rosaline are going to do another buddy color in this book for October, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Rosaline, for getting me started in this book, and I'm excited for our next buddy color. Next up, from Circle of Life, I have another page for Mumu's Obscure Animal Bingo. This time the prompt was rhinoceros, so I colored this rhino page. Again, I put in lots of stars and things on the night sky to create more of a space timber feel. I used Inktense to base this whole page, and then I came in with my coloring pencils to deepen up some of the shading. I also used coloring pencils on top of the blue of the water to create, the grey rhinoceros reflection, and some green just over here near the land to make it look like all these grass and greenery is reflected. This page also counted for one of my 2 randomized prompts that I drew in my September plans video. It went for the prompt of a page in your least colored book. So for least colored, I don't count uncolored books because I had a separate prompt for that. And I had quite a lot of books that I had just colored 1 page in. So there were quite a lot of books to choose from. But I decided to go with this one because it also went for my animal bingo card as well. And I'm really, really enjoying coloring in this book. I'm excited to get more pages done. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Then next up, and this is probably the book that I'm the most excited about this month, I finally got started in Alien Worlds. I thought if I'm not getting started in September, then when will I get started? And I also drew the page, the random prompt of first page in a book during my plans video. And I want to go through and color this book in order. So I went straight to the first page, skipping over the introduction pages and everything. So the first, actual coloring page. And it's this double page spread. So this is the arrival at the Lost Paradise planet, where the spaceship is coming in. And I thought because this planet is the Lost Paradise, I wanted to keep kind of an Earth-like color palette throughout all the pages related to this planet. So that's why I decided to go with the bright greens and blues to create, again, an Earth-like planet. I went in with some acrylic paint to do some splatters. Again, I was doing that a lot. I was definitely using that a lot this month for September. And then for my little spaceship here, I used my shimmery watercolors. I'm not sure if you will be able to see that on the camera or not. And then I used some gel pen to create the flames kind of coming out of the back of the spaceship. Then for the asteroids, I wanted them kind of just to blend in a little bit. So I decided to go with a lighter gray, just so they wouldn't detract from, the main planet and the spaceship over here. I'm very excited to have my first 2 pages done in this book. It was definitely a very intimidating book for me to start in because I had no idea, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to take it, anything like that. But once I got started, I found that it was actually a lot easier than I had thought. So I will definitely not leave it until September next year to color another page in this book because I'm really, really excited to color more in it. So those were the last pages that I colored this month. Again, I'm very pleased with how much I managed to get done this month. I think it's very exciting to, get so many pages across so many books done. I do think, again, that my favorite page I colored this month was... I took the tag out. There we go. The favorite page that I colored this month was this one from Sweet and Simple. I always enjoy my coloring in this book. And again, I really enjoyed doing quite a cool tone color palette, which isn't very typical for me. So this is definitely my favorite one of the pages that I colored this month. I would love to hear which one of the pages I colored this month was your favorite down in the comments below. And I'd also love to hear how you got on with your coloring in September. Did you color a lot of September themed pages? Did you do something completely different? I'd love to hear in the comments below. If you like this video as well, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And I would love to have you stick around by subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!